If you're not making the plans for your campaign, then who the hell is? Hello and welcome to this week's episode of How to Be a Great GM. My name is Guy and today we're looking at who makes the plans if you don't make the plans for your campaign. Well, we know the answer, it's the NPCs. We've established that before. But how exactly does that work? How do we get the NPC to give us the plan? Well, this is exactly how it works. Now, we all remember that our NPCs have OGAS, occupation, goal, attitude, and stake. And we know that those are going to influence what the NPC is doing. We also know that we can add in some other values in there to make it more interesting. However, that in itself doesn't give us the campaign. The blacksmith who wants to get a turkey sandwich does not create a campaign. What creates a campaign is when we have several NPCs gathered around and we ask the what if question. The what if question, quite simply, what if that blacksmith was so desperate to get a turkey sandwich that the blacksmith was willing to annihilate everything around them? What if the blacksmith is designing this ultimate machine that is going to generate turkey sandwiches, and that those turkey sandwiches are actually going to get spewed out alive, living turkey sandwiches that are then going to try and eat everyone? Well, that's a little bit of a ridiculous scenario, but what you can start to see is how when you combine things together, you start to get a campaign on its own. You don't really have to do any work. So let's look at it a little bit more seriously. The blacksmith decides that they want to build the most powerful forge in the world to create an artifact to bring back their dead daughter. It's a standard trope, folks, it really is, but it works for a reason. So we now understand that the blacksmith wants to build this giant forge to bring back his dead daughter. He wants to reforge her, as if you like. That's not a campaign. What if the blacksmith is nearly complete in building this? Or what if the blacksmith realizes that they can't yet build their daughter, but perhaps they can build an army that will force the kingdom next door to give them their daughter back using magic or something along those lines? Now we're starting to see some threads coming through. What we then do is we take the scenario and we then say, okay, well, what does this thing offer us? If the blacksmith is creating this massive forge that's going to bring back his daughter, does it promise us conflict? Not really. There's nothing in there that seeks to conflict. Does it promise us adventure? Maybe. The blacksmith might hire the PCs to go on a journey to try and get a component or something, but that's, again, still not very strong. So if we bring in another NPC and we state that this other NPC is, let's say, for example, the local sheriff who knows that the blacksmith is building this thing, what kind of conflict could there be? Well, what if the sheriff hires the party to try and find out what the blacksmith is doing first because they're worried that the blacksmith is maybe up to something that's no good? Well, does that now promise conflict? The sheriff is trying to find out what the blacksmith is doing, and the blacksmith is now trying to keep their project secret because anybody who discovers it will discover that they may have to do some diabolical things in order to resurrect their daughter. Well, now we're starting to get a promise of conflict. We've already got two opposition parties involved, and notice they're both NPCs, by the way. One is driving the players towards the plot, the other one is pushing them away, and there's that dreaded word plot, so you all get a bonus 50 experience points because I said the word plot, which I've now said 4 times, I think. Rewatch the video if you really care. So that's 200 experience points for you because I said that dreaded word. What it gives us is it gives us two NPCs who have opposing goals, which is exactly what we want. So now we take the blacksmith's entire idea of building this life forge or necro forge. We can give it some kind of cool name. We now take that and we apply that to our sentence. Someone wants something badly by a specific time and is having difficulty getting it using a specific method. The method that they're going to be using is this giant forge that they are creating. The difficulty is the PCs are going to discover that they are creating this giant forge and possibly need human sacrifice or dwarvish sacrifice or whatever the species might be of the NPC blacksmith. They are going to discover all kinds of things. So the PCs are going to be offering that opposition. Furthermore, the sheriff, I should say, is offering opposition. So in that sentence, the blacksmith who wants to bring his daughter back before her body is completely consumed by rot or, I don't know, pick a MacGuffin, you can come up with whatever it is. we now have the basis of our campaign. All we need to do now is unpack the blacksmith with the 5 W's and 1 H. So who is the blacksmith? What are they? Why are they doing this? How are they doing this? With etc., etc., etc. We understand their goal of bringing back their daughter. And now we have a giant creation that is ready for us to turn it into an actionable plan. I know it feels like we're really not yet getting to the plan. We just want to create our campaign. These are the steps we have to take if we want to make a solid plan for our NPC that we get to run carefree. So these are just the steps, folks. This is it. This is what they are, and this is how they will be done. That's it from me. So peace, yo. No, all right, never mind about that. Thank you for watching all the way through to the end. I hope these videos are helping you inspire and design your own campaigns. If they are, leave a comment down below in the comments section. We'd love to hear from you. And let us know what your campaign is. What are you designing? What are you crafting? What are you planning? Anyway, massive thank you to this week's sponsor. And of course, to you for watching all the way through to the end. And to our amazing patrons, I love you all. And that's it from me. Happy gaming!